the fuck is up, gamers? It's your boy The Goods, and we are here for episode number 58 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. And I believe it's time for some crazy shit to go down. That though his anonymity remains, the diabolical murderer was caught and executed. Very well then. You may have the truth.
Tell me then. Tell me what Clint really was.
Lord Clint Van Zieks was too pure of heart. When he became a prosecutor and went in pursuit of the black roots of crime, he drove himself into a corner. He came to the uncomfortable realization that to fight the most fiendish of criminals requires one to become even more fiendish oneself.
Clint.
Oh shit. The 19th century was a truly miraculous 100 years for Great Britain, and indeed the whole world. New industry, new technology, and with the birth of the Metropolitan Police Service, new law and order. But these dazzling new developments meant ever deeper shadows were cast on society. Water sullied by factories, air thick with noxious fumes, and crime growing daily to fill the darkness. Lord Clint Van Zieks made it his mission to combat that darkness. But as time went on, it slowly ate at his soul, until eventually he was consumed. It's ironic, really, and somewhat surprising, that the truth has once again been unearthed. By a Japanese. Once again? What do you mean? 10 years ago, your father, Genshin Asogi, turned up at my office one night. The professor? Yes, beyond all shadow of a doubt. You must issue a warrant to search his home at once. Don't be absurd! The man comes from one of our country's most illustrious families. He's a paragon of justice here in the capital. Yes, that's the point. That's why none of you British can see it. He's using his noble status as a diversion whilst he commits these atrocious crimes behind the scenes. Do you have evidence? Nothing definitive as yet, but he keeps an enormous savage hound on the estate. We need the full support of the judiciary for this. We're up against a member of the aristocracy. So a large family estate has a fierce guard dog. You should know that's commonplace here in Britain. I'm sorry, but I can't possibly put Scotland Yard onto this based on the tenuous accusation of a visiting student. Oh. My head is fucking pounding, by the way. My head hurts so bad. So I turned down Asogi's plea, and as a result, he took it upon himself to visit the Van Zieks mansion on his own. We can only imagine now what happened between the two men. Though we know the outcome, of course. Lord Clint Van Zieks perished.
I don't believe this. So, in actual fact, Kazuma-sama's father did.
He made the late Lord Van Zieks meet the same fate. He put a permanent end to the professor killings by taking the drastic measure of ending the perpetrator's life. As soon as I heard, I hurried to the mansion. When I arrived, it was easy to grasp what had happened. And what about the will? Asogi must have already taken it. Nothing of that nature was found at the scene. We had no idea of the existence of such a document at the time. I was the only person who knew of the true identity of the professor. So I resolved to keep it a secret and guard the secret to the bitter end. So you're admitting to it? That you were behind it all? It was you, then, who pinned the crimes on my father. I did what needed to be done in order to protect the law and order of the British Empire. Even if that meant employing an unforgivable ruse. Then it was you who arranged this fabricated evidence. I ordered that detective to take care of it, whilst keeping the truth from him, naturally.
Gregson.
Obviously, he opposed me at first.
Hey, off your okay? We can't do something like that.
There's no question that it was Asogi who murdered Lord Van Zeeks. The house staff have made statements that they saw the man running from the mansion that night.
Yeah, well, I've no doubt he was that Japanese fella. But we haven't got a shred of conclusive evidence against the man. And worse than that, he doesn't keep a dog, so we're short of a metal weapon to boot.
And we're short on time, Gregson. We must put a stop to this man's rampage, for the good of the country. So we'll use whatever means necessary. Do I make myself clear, Detective?
Blimey.
So that night 10 years ago, when I was attacked by those thugs in the back streets, and Genshin's ring was taken, that was him, wasn't it? That was Gregson and some hired help.
Then the detective handed the stolen ring to Dr. Wilson, who feigned its discovery from the victim's stomach during that autopsy. And in the light of that decisive evidence, Mr. Asogi was found guilty of the charges brought against him. However, behind the scenes, he'd actually already struck a deal with his accusers, in which he agreed to silently accept the charges. But I just don't believe that part. As far as I knew the man, my father despised such underhanded dealings.
It was extremely easy to make him comply. You see, he had one crippling weakness.
What weakness?
Isn't it obvious? You, Kazuma Asogi.
Me?
Perhaps you have no desire to return to your homeland, Asogi.
What?
Though I hear you have a 14-year-old son. Agree to cooperate and accept your guilt without contention, and you will see Japan and your son again.
You scoundrel!
Whether you choose wisely or not, it will be a closed trial by order of Her Majesty. So whatever rash claims you might make in court will have no trouble in stifling them. There's only one outcome for you, Asogi. The gallows.
Don't forget that I still have a weapon at my disposal. A document revealing a truth that I know you're desperate to keep hidden.
Yes, it hadn't escaped my mind, which is the only reason I'm willing to bargain with you. I only want to protect this country's law and order, you understand. So, what's it to be, Asogi?
Kazuma. He did it for me.
And as I told him at the time, my motive was simply to protect Britain from the damage the truth would do. To protect this country's law and order, at any cost.
Objection!
I've never dared let myself even consider this possibility until now. But in light of all this treachery, I have to ask. The mastermind behind the Reaper of the Bailey. Was it you, Lord Mael Strongheart?
A rather brilliant idea, wouldn't you say, Lord Beric Van Zeeks? That the spirit of your late brother, that paragon of justice, should return to reap justice for his sibling. Could there be a more appetizing tale for London's masses, I ask you?
What brazen?
I knew that you'd play the part to perfection, but your role really wasn't that of some embodiment of death. No, you were London's guardian angel.
An angel with bloody hands? I think not.
Those who had cooperated with me already were only too happy to participate in my plan. Inspector Gregson, Dr. Wilson. My minions worked tirelessly to ensure that the finger of guilt could never come to rest on you. It's all thanks to them that you were exalted as the demigod the Reaper became.
But Dr. Wilson left Britain 4 years ago when he was invited to work in Japan.
That's right! So I had to employ the services of his young protege after that. Dr. Courtney Scythe.
Dr. Scythe?
So what with the execution of the Professor and the subsequent reign of the Reaper of the Bailey? I've successfully safeguarded law and order in our mighty capital for the past decade. That is everything. My lords, ladies and gentlemen, I do hereby confess, it was I who sired the concept of the Reaper. However, let me say in my defense... Oh, fuck. Hold on, let me say... Hold on, fuck! It was all for the goodness of fucking Great Britain.
Ah, oh my god, this is terrible. It was all for keeping London safe. I guess it's fine, though. Blah, 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 blah.
There is no one left now who can reveal the precise truth of what happened 10 years ago. Therefore, this trial can go no further. Now, I would like to entreat all those present, beyond these four walls, nobody need know the truth. Even Her Majesty must be protected from this. I trust you all to appreciate the importance of my request. It is, of course, for the good of the country.
Can he do this? Can the trial really end now? Yeah, what in the fuck? I have one last question. For the accused, Lord Van Zieks.
What?
Of course, I know that you're a highly accomplished prosecutor, so I find it hard to believe you didn't have any doubts at all. That you never suspected your older brother. Yes, the same thought occurred to me.
It was only once, but yes, I couldn't say that I'd never had my doubts. My brother's sense of justice was extremely strong. Perhaps too strong, I observed. At that time, there were members of the aristocracy who were bleeding the country dry for their own gain. And since they were nobles, they were untouchable. For my brother, it was a source of great turmoil.
And coincidentally, at the same time, the Professor began his terrifying reign.
During the time of the Professor killings, my brother did not appear to be himself.
And that made you suspect?
Yes. But it was only once, not more.
Only once? Really?
Clint wasn't the culprit. That was my conclusion at the time. And I still believe that now.
Do you have any evidence to support that idea?
The third victim was the Lord Chief Justice at the time. It was he who had recognized my brother's potential and trained him as a prosecutor. No matter what the circumstances, it's unthinkable that my brother could have killed his friend and mentor.
Yeah, I wonder if the current Lord Chief Justice was the one who killed him.
That will do! Neither Clint Van Zieks nor Genshin Asogi still walk this earth. However much we debate this matter now, we cannot hope to reach a conclusion.
But...
There are only two extant pieces of evidence from the time. The woebegone ring that acted as the incriminating evidence to condemn Genshin Asogi, and the 3-page last will and testament penned in black ink and left behind by the man. The wretched truth of what happened is exactly as I have explained. Huh. How many pages was that? Later today, I will present myself at the Ministry of Justice for whatever sanction is deemed appropriate. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Objection!
Thank you, Kazuma. Me. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have made this 11th hour discovery.
What discovery?
My lord, I'm afraid I must insist the trial continues.
I beg your pardon.
As the court has been reminded today already, we must stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth. And to that end, one particular statement made by somebody in this courtroom moments ago revealed a very subtle contradiction.
What contradiction?
But all I did was ask the accused one simple thing.
Well, I began with Lord Van Zieks and his recollection about his brother, but Lord Strongheart didn't permit the defendant to speak at length.
I merely pointed out that we can draw no further useful conclusion here. So where on earth is the contradiction?
One of them definitely said something contradictory. It was Lord Strongheart. It was Lord Strongheart, I'm sure of it! Something he said was slightly off. Come on, Ryunosuke, think back over his words, find the problem! Okay. We just read this shit. We just read this shit, Deej. Come on. Lord Strongheart, would you care to explain?
Explain what, Counsel?
Among the statements you made just a few moments ago, something you said was inconsistent with a certain piece of evidence we have.
Inconsistent?
And whilst an inconsistency remains, the defense has a right to pursue an explanation. Ryunosuke, what?
Let me warn you about the statements you're making, Counsel. They may very well prove fatal.
Which piece of evidence? It's the Asogi paper.
Take that!
This here is the will left behind by Mr. Asogi. The 2-paged will.
What?
Yet moments ago, your precise words were the 3-page last will and testament.
Ugh.
Could it be that originally there was a 3rd page?
For a moment, I thought perhaps you'd identified something worthwhile. But it's a mere trifle, I see.
A trifle?
Governor Caden!
What can I do for you, sir?
You were present when the Japanese man penned his last will and testament.
I was there for sure. I remember the black wearing like straw to this day. And I'm quite certain, my lord, that was the 3rd page at the time.
What?
Only the first 2 pages were the actual will, though. If I'm more correctly, the 3rd was a message to his lad back in Japan.
For legal purposes, we required only his will.
And we wouldn't have wanted any uncomfortable words about Britain getting back to Japan, eh? So it was decided the 3rd page.
Objection!
How dare you make that decision? I had a right to know what it said, to hear my father's final words to me.
The courtroom is no place for sentimentality, Counsel.
As it happens, I have the 3rd page of the document with me here now.
My father's message.
It will be given to you at the end of these proceedings.
It'll be too late once the trial's over. We need to know what it says now. Even the slightest thing may give us a vital clue. My lord, the defense calls for Genshin Asogi's last words to his son to be read aloud before the court now.
Your request is denied. The inevitably maudlin words can be of no consequence now.
The prosecution agrees. The court should know the content of that message. Every possible piece of evidence must be thoroughly examined.
Very well then, Governor Caden. You will read the 3rd page of the document for all present to hear.
Yes, sir! Only, I should put in, my lord. Now, can I actually read worm language?
This beautiful handwriting. Shame on you, Barry.
I know it was him.
If I could be of assistance here, I would be happy to translate the words into English for the court.
Father!
You're still here, are you, Dr. Mikotoba? Naturally, I consider myself a member of the judiciary, albeit a lowly one. But perhaps I should quietly withdraw after I've translated Genshin's message. Your cooperation is much appreciated.
Alright. Kazuma, the truth is shrouded in darkness. A darkness only our clan's great sword can pierce. Mighty Karuma, twist thy head and watch them fall, all thy mortal foes.
Huh. That's the end of the message, it would seem. Okay, so apparently... That's not what I wanted to do. Hold on. A haiku poem, Twist Thy Head. If you then go to the great sword Karuma... Open it up. Tip of the great sword broken. fuck with it then? Is this not the head of the blade? Oh, after it's been put into the court record. Okay, okay.
Father,
What is Karuma?
the name of the Asogi clan's famous sword, a razor-sharp blade known to all, passed down for generations. It embodies the Japanese spirit.
It's not known to me.
It's the katana sword that was submitted as evidence earlier in these proceedings. The one worn by the prosecution counsel when he confronted Inspector Gregson.
All these procrastinations are beginning to try my patience. Adjournment of this court is long overdue. As the presiding judge, I have been accommodating as possible with the will of the courtroom.
Alright, hold on. I need to go back to Karuma here. Alright, open it up. Open it up. And when you say things like the head of the blade... they do in fact mean this part. It's pronounced Kashira. The butt of the blade. Inside, it's a tightly wound sheet of parchment. Oh, it's the true last will and testament. Scarlet ink! I penned this, my last will and testament, in the final moments before my inevitable and willing death. This is it, isn't it?
Mr. Naruhodo, look at the signature at the end.
Clint Van Zeeks, in the date, 10 years ago on that fateful night.
So for 10 years, it's been silently concealed inside Karuma and nobody knew. The last will and testament of Lord Clint Van Zeeks.
Wait, oh my goodness. Look at this. This is unbelievable.
Are they gonna let me read it? Are they gonna let me read it?
You actually can't read it. That's crazy. Apparently, if you do it again, you get an accolade. Which... I know it's kind of a waste of time, but... truth be told, I'm, like, never gonna fucking play this shit again. So, let's do this again. But I do want the, Asogi Clan Appreciators money. Okay.
However, despite all that, no new information has come to light.
I didn't hear what he said.
In pursuit of justice, Lord Clint Van Zeeks tragically lost all sense of morality. When he murdered his former mentor, clearly he was already devoid of his normal faculties.
Objection!
How dare you! I refuse to believe that of my brother.
Too much time has passed. We cannot ever hope to know more than we do now. Especially since the alleged will that he penned in his final moments appears to have been lost forever. Lord Strongheart, you appear to be in something of a hurry to wrap things up. I wonder why. We've heard you state time and time again during these proceedings that everything you did was in the interest of protecting British law and order. And I stand by that! Without the Reaper, we could never have achieved the reduction in crime the capital has seen.
What about Inspector Gregson, then? And Dr. Wilson. They were no criminals. You used them to achieve your ends, and then you had them killed. However you dress it up, there was nothing fair or just about that.
Lord Strongheart, what exactly is it that you're hiding? Dr. Mikotoba, were you not to quietly withdraw after the translation of your former associate's will? In this courtroom, no argument carries weight unless it is supported by evidence. And it would seem that the defense has no more evidence to present. In which case, I hereby order all discourse from these proceedings to be struck from the record.
This is my last chance.
Mr. Naruhodo!
I have to present some decisive evidence now, or it's all over, but can I? Oh yeah, I can. Wait, my lord! As it happens, the defense does have evidence to present.
Oh, don't Don't be absurd! There's nothing of relevance remaining from the time.
It's high time that you realize something, my lord. This gentleman has an uncanny habit of producing evidence at the final hour that had escaped everyone else's attention.
Nonsense!
What is it, Ryunosuke? What do you have? I dare say, the final, decisive piece of evidence that will reveal the whole truth about this rotten tale. How can you...
Decisive? Well, it would appear there's no escaping it now, my lord. Let it be so then! Present whatever you think you have that can settle this decade-old enigma, if you're capable. What exactly is this evidence that the defense claims to have to be so decisive?
Take that!
There's a single piece of evidence that can clarify what really happened 10 years ago. And I know we're cutting these short, but I'm trying to, like, you know, not end up with some bullshit in the middle of a thing. So I'm going to end it here, where we talk about what that is next time, leave it on a cliffhanger. For now, I'm going to end the episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.